Taha, and this may be very important for all of us here also. In Surah Taha, chapter 20 of the Quran, verse 124, hear what Allah says. Bismillah ar-Rahman. وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي, and whoever turns away from the message and the reminder of Allah, وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي, Allah says, whoever turn away from his message, from his reminders, فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكًا. You know what Allah is saying? This has a literal meaning and it has a reality meaning. The literal meaning means, you see like how some of you deliberately don't come for khutbah in time? That's a literal meaning. I'm very serious. فَاسْعَوْا إِلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ, the same word. Allah says, إِذَا نُودِيَ لِلصَّلَاةِ مِنْ يَوْمِ الْجُمَعَةِ فَاسْعَوْا إِلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. When the call is proclaimed for the Jum'ah, فَاسْعَوْا إِلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ, the same word. Hasten to the reminder of Allah, which is the khutbah. All the fuqaha and scholars have said that. Because Allah does not say that about Dhuhr Salah, Isha Salah, Maghrib Salah, and Asr Salah. He says it about Jum'ah Salah because Jum'ah has a reminder before. So those of you, I'm sorry to say that to those of you, don't feel insulted. You go home, put it in your pipe, you smoke it, and sleep with it. And go and memorize this verse. Surah Taha, verse 21, 24. Literally, those of you who have nothing to do, and you deliberately go late in a masjid and ignore the reminder, you deal with that. Allah says He will put stress, He will put depression and frustration in your life. Maybe that's why you're trying to sell more in your restaurant and your gas station and your business, and you're still not happy. You're making more in dollars, but not in qalb salim, not in a peaceful heart, not a peaceful mind. Because Allah says here, ma'ishatan dhanka, you will have a narrowed life, a stressed life, a depressed life. You might make $1 million and someone sues you for $2 million. Yeah? You sell the gas station and make $200,000 profit, something goes wrong, you lose $500,000 profit. See how you lose? You see how the stress comes out? So that's the literal meaning. I see sometimes someone is reading a hadith, people get up and walk off as though someone is going to die. I'm like, but who is dying? Why can't you sit a second and listen to a hadith? Sometimes the verses of the Quran is being recited, you don't want to listen to it. Literally, it means that. If you turn away, وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي, you turn away from the message of Allah, Allah will put a lot of stress and depression in our life. Maybe that's why some of us, we buy the whole of South Florida. We own all the gas stations. Yesterday, I met someone 2 days ago, somewhere, I don't want to say where. Halal place, though, don't worry. So I asked one of the brother, and I said, you know that guy? Young guy. He said, yeah, he owns so many gas stations, he doesn't even remember how many he owns. I'm like, wow. And these are some of the people who reach late for Jumu'ah. You know what I mean? It's sad. You own your own business, you own your own property, your own boss. What are we really doing? And we can't go for the dhikr literal meaning. Again, time doesn't permit, I got to cut. And the reality now of the message is when we are reminded of the words of Allah, وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي, and we let it go through one ear and go through the other and say, yeah, that was your Shaikh Shafayat talking. It ain't me, brother. I'm only reminding myself and you. That's why I always remind everyone, وَذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ الذِّكْرَ تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Remind, and by reminding the believers benefit. It's a reminder. The khutbah is a reminder. I remind myself and I remind you. So Allah is saying in this verse, Surah Taha, chapter 21, 24, if you put a deaf ears and you don't pay heed to the message of Allah and the reminder of Allah, Allah will put a lot of stress. فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكًا. A lot of stress and depression and frustration in our life. And maybe that's why some people have that problems. And they don't know why they have everything else in their pocket and in the bank account, but they don't have qalb salim, a peaceful heart, Their heart is full of misery, hate for people, animosity, anger, hate. This is a serious disease. I know that we are in vacation time, and a lot of you are probably on vacation, in and out vacation, but I want you to also know that the angel of death does not go on vacation. Huh? You understand what that means? Have you ever read any hadith or Quran that the angel of death goes on vacation? There is not a day when someone does not die somewhere in the world. So what I'm saying to myself and you, while you're on vacation, whether here or out of town, and who listening all over the world, keep with your salah. Keep with your Quran. Keep steadfast. Read your Quran. Yeah. Make the dhikr of Allah. Keep on the path of sadaqah. Be charitable. Be kind. Because the angel of death, you may be on vacation, but the angel of death is not on vacation. I remember, so many people tell me they go on a cruise ship, and the cruise line kicks off from Miami, after an hour comes back because somebody died on the cruise ship. How many times that happened, brothers, that you go on a cruise every other month? How many times that happened? A lot. I see from his mouth. You don't have to believe me. I know someone called me a couple months ago and said they went to somewhere in Mexico on vacation, and the man died. I'm like, oh, Allah, on his vacation. So the angel of death does not die. So I thought I'll remind myself and you, seeing that we're on school vacation, work vacation, and all of you on a vacation mind nowadays. Stick to your Quran. Stick to your salah. Be punctual. Be steadfast with the dhikr of Allah. Yeah, don't forget it, not because you're on vacation. People give up things when they're on vacation. No. Yeah, the salah 4 rakat is cut in half. It's not cut off totally. Some people cut it off totally. No. My brothers and sisters, this qalb salim that Allah speaks about on the day of judgment, that Allah says that He looks at the person who has a good heart, a qalb salim. That starts from here. Here's where we must not let all this distraction in the dunya mislead us to have a bad mind, a bad heart, do bad things. And for those of you who came late, as we conclude, yes, you have progressed. We have progressed. The world has progressed. But unfortunately, the hearts of people have become smaller. I was mentioning recently somewhere, I remember the days, and I still remember the days, and I've seen it in Pakistan, and I've seen it in Bangladesh, I've seen it in India when I visited there, I've seen it in the Caribbean, where it used to have one man who had a lot of land and property, and he will donate one plot of land only to build a masjid. You remember that, brother? Remember Trinidad, the Guyana, the Caribbean, all over? Pakistan, Bangladesh, this guy owns a factory. He has a piece of land. He says, take that community and build a masjid. Here, these bunch of millionaires in America beg to sell one barbecue box to buy a piece of land. Bunch of beggars. Wealthier, $1 million homes, $100,000 cars, but they beg to build a masjid. Those were the days when the people live in small homes and give an entire piece of land to build a masjid and say, put that fi sabilillah, and didn't sell it. You guys remember that, some of you? Brothers from Bangladesh? That's true. If I'm wrong, I'm lying, then tell me. Pakistan, India, Bangladesh. And those were the days when the people live in small homes. And if one man had the means, he will say, I'm going to build a masjid. If you want the community, continue it. I'm telling you, when I go to fundraising programs and I see millionaires begging for $100 to help maintain a masjid, I say, shame on you. Ye to besharam ki baat hai. It's a shameless thing. Those who had small homes, little homes, small businesses, yeah. We still had a few like that in South Florida. When I came here, I remember there were brothers. One man alone bought a masjid. And he bought the property and the land and said, give it. Nowadays, you have to beg. Do you know we have some people? They walk in the parking lot, they see the police car, they say, mashallah, Darul Uloom has security. They walk in here, they see the donation box. Police security, yeah? But they're so pious. See, they go by Quran and Hadith. They're so pious. They look at the box and they smile. And they said it's sadaqah in the hadith to smile, but they don't put anything in the box. That is the pious people, very pious. They look at the box, when the security box, they'll see, we have a guy doing parking. Do you think he came for free? Do you guys really think he came for free? Is that somebody's father here that is standing there and regulating traffic? Don't you think we pay him to do that? We have a donation box there to put for parking and security. People pass it straight, they smile, they probably ask them why they smile. They say in hadith it says, if you smile, it is sadaqah, it's charity, so that's their charity. Or why don't you smile in your business also and don't take no money from people? When the customer comes and says, I want a Coca-Cola, you say, shall I have it? Smile, go ahead. And when they come in your gas station, you smile too and tell them, fill for free. See, the brain clicks when it comes to Abdullah, the slave of the dollars. But when it comes to being Abdullah, the slave of Allah, their hearts get like that. Remember a couple of weeks ago, I reminded myself when you have two kind of people, Abdullah, the slave of Allah, and Abdullah, slave of the dollar.